I'm Chef Mike Moses and welcome to my kitchen. Do you find it difficult when you go to the big box stores to buy meat in bulk, especially if there's only one or two of you? Well, I have the solution for you, especially on pork tenderloin. And I've got the recipe and the details coming up. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. I post new videos here every week. Now, let's go to, let's say, a big box store like Sam's Club, and you see a package of pork tenderloins, 6, 8, even 5 of them on sale for 20 bucks. That's like $4 a tenderloin. You can't pass the deal up, but what are you gonna do with all that tenderloin? Well, I have a solution for at least one meal, and this meal I'm actually going to make for one person. This is my garlic mashed potatoes and my Coffe Chipotle rubbed pork loin. And here's what you'll need. You'll need about 2 tablespoons of instant espresso, 1 tablespoon or half a tablespoon, depending upon your heat level tolerance, of chipotle pepper, salt, pepper, 2 potatoes, 1 clove of garlic per person, some butter, and some grapeseed oil. This is going to be a very quick meal. I can do it in under 30 minutes. First thing we're going to do is trim up our potatoes and get those on the boil. Turn the heat on high, trim up the potatoes a little bit. You may notice sometimes that there are, I guess you could call them scars, little smiley faces on the potatoes. That's from the harvesting. And sometimes it just leaves a little bruise. Now these are new potatoes. I'm going to leave the skin on for extra texture. And because I want this to cook fairly quickly, I'm going to slice them up in just probably about 1/4 inch slices, so I can get them in the boiling water and have them ready for when it's time to mash. Okay, our water is boiling. In go the potatoes. Now this is for one person. That's salted boiling water. I'm going to boil those for about 20 to 25 minutes. And when there's 10 minutes left, I'm going to slice up a clove of garlic and put that in the boiling water as well. And what this will do, it will cook the garlic, make it nice and tender, and then when you mash the potatoes, it disappears. Okay, for our pork tenderloin, nice and dry, what we want to do is remove the silver skin, of course. That piece right there, totally inedible. I'm going to get my boning knife, and I'm also going to trim off a lot of the fat and a lot of the sinew, because this is tenderloin and I want it to be tender. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp so that you can get in underneath it. Cut it off in little pieces. What I like to do is just grab it on the end and then run my knife down the tenderloin. My potatoes are definitely boiling. You also want to remove any excess fat. There. And of course, we're going to take the tail off. You can season your pork any way you like, put it on a plate or whatever. I like to use a bread pan. It's just the right size for the pork. It allows me to roll it around and get all the spices in. So we'll put in our coffee, our chipotle powder, two good pinches of salt, which equals just about a teaspoon, and some freshly ground pepper. All right, give that a good mix up. Now, if you like a lot of heat, you can add more chipotle if you want. I'm using it really for the smoky flavor. Then you put your pork in and you start pressing it down all over, using up all the coffee. What you want is a really nicely crusted pork tenderloin. Don't forget the ends. A little bit left over, push that in there. And there's one piece of pork. And with the remaining piece, I'll just mop up the rest of that. That's the first step. Now the next step is, okay, now we take a frying pan, we put that on medium-high heat. Let it come up to temperature, and we'll add some grapeseed oil and butter so we can sear our pork tenderloin on all sides. All right, I think our frying pan is coming up to heat. And I'm gonna add just about a tablespoon of grapeseed oil. And I'm also gonna add just about a teaspoon of butter. The butter is for the flavor, the grapeseed oil is for the heat. It's important that you let the pan come up to temperature so it can do its job. You don't want a lot of oil in your tenderloin, you just want a nice crust. And I would say that we're at temperature. So, take our coffee encrusted pork tenderloin and put it right on the heat. Now you want to make sure that all the sides are seared. So we'll do the front, the back, the top, and don't forget the ends. You have to make sure the ends are seared as well. Oh, that nice coffee smell. And when you oil it's the proper temperature, it doesn't take long. Okay, our pork has been seared, and we'll place that on the baking rack. This is going to go into the oven, 400-degree oven, probably for 15 to 18 minutes until the internal temperature hits 145 degrees. So, off to the oven. Okay, the pork loin has hit that magic number of 145. Again, we always check with our meat thermometer. 145, and we're going to let it rest. We're going to let this rest for probably 5 to 10 minutes so that the juices reincorporate. While that's resting, we'll mash some potatoes. And what I'm going to do too is I'm going to leave the thermometer in it because I don't want the juices to pour into the hole that I made with the thermometer. All right, I'll move this so we can mash some potatoes. Remember, this has been in a 400-degree oven, so it is kind of warm. Now for our garlic mashed potatoes, I've already drained them. Take the top off. Make sure all the garlic is down into the potatoes. Going to add about a half teaspoon of butter. Remember, this is just for one person, so I don't want a lot of butter in there. And a tablespoon of half and half. A pinch of salt and some fresh cracked pepper. Get a potato masher and start mashing the potatoes. Now I've left the skins on for a textural component. Meal for one, ready to go. The garlic flavor is very mild, not overpowering, just enough to lightly flavor your potatoes. All right, we'll wait for 5 minutes, and then we'll slice up our pork and plate it up. You always have to try a piece. A little bit of heat and that earthy coffee flavor. Okay, our meat has been resting. Time now to put it on the cutting board, and we're going to cut on the bias, make some nice slices, probably about 1/4 inch thick. You can see it's done just perfectly. Nice and juicy. And we'll plate them up. First of all, let's get our garlic mashed potatoes. Pile them nice and high. This piece. a little bit of rosemary in the potatoes, and for a little extra color and to take care of the heat, if you don't like all the heat, how about some fresh salsa? We'll just pour the salsa right over the pork. And there we go. Coffe Chipotle crusted pork tenderloin with garlic mashed potatoes, a sprig of rosemary, and some salsa. I hope you enjoy. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And I post videos like this every week, so please subscribe. Also, if you'd like more information, head over to my blog, thepersonalchef.blog, where I post this recipe that you can print off. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to helping you cook better, eat healthier, and shop smarter.